What is up, Crow Crew? Welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. Last episode, we started a mystery about a train, and believe you me, oh dear lord, it has gotten completely crazy. We have found a total of 7 different people, at least 3 station masters, 4 station masters, an angry inventor, an angry passenger, and Mexican. And as you can see based on our map, a whole bunch of things that we've been exploring. In this episode, we're going to try and explore more about this. Ooh, hello.
This railway branch should lead to the quarry. Let us take a look. The switch is rusted, but it still works. The rail is rusted and looks old, but the railway is still usable. The railway ends here. That is strange.
We are going to explore the...
Here we are
I
at
don't know
the
where I was going
beach
with this.
that is located near the quarry and Doncaster station. It doesn't look like a very good place to rest. These traces were made by a carriage. Look. Nothing interesting here. Nothing in... The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches. The vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. An advertisement for lake cruises.
That's an odd detail.
An abandoned gypsy caravan. This place was abandoned fairly recently.
The way he said that is so funny.
Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached. A label with the name Las Zarpas.
All these trains and railway stations, Chileans, Mexicans, and Robinson with his prototype. Holmes, I'm utterly lost.
Let's go back to the Oh, there's some people. Huh. But there's tracks. I saw tracks. Oh my god, this is frustrating. Dang it. Which package is this? Is this the pre-order or is this the used one? Looks like it's the used one. At least one of them? Give me a second, hang on. That's not... What the... Okay, so between now and Thursday. Gotcha. Congress on Monday. Dang it, Watson, you are... I don't get it. What? Cause I go too far this way. Yeah, that happens too. Get. I'm gonna get this done today, and I can't right now because I... Piss off. What? Watson!
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd. This road should lead to the town of Evesham. Traces. Let's take a closer look. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. The traces found at the disassembled shed near Evesham and at the lake were from the same vehicle.
Ask him about it.
It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few 100 feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it wouldn't be easy to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
See you later, my good man. Here it is.
Will that be everything we can do? Ooh, there's so much details. Uh... Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, I don't even know how you're supposed to connect that. Very heavy to the lake. Oh, duh. Hmm. Collapse underneath the mine. I heard a sound. It freaked me out. It was a leaf blow outside. It's just like, where's that coming from? And then like it went down in like volume. It's like, that's what it is. Hmm. Willie? But what else is there to do? Hmm. That's one I already did. Hmm. I think it's that feels like the best one. Because there's the belt. Everything there.
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble. But it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. Our other option is the local constabulary, and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. All the same, I think that I prefer the forces methods. It would be better to resolve the case quickly and efficiently, without any talk of politics.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, we know that the Barkazas Company directors were drowned in the flooded quarry, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh no. Please don't tell me we have to dive into the lake.
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan. I shall follow you, Holmes.
Well, the case is solved, and we shall be heading home. May we have 2 tickets to London, please?
Right away. Wait a minute. You've solved the case?
In a manner of speaking, can you believe that the rescue service miraculously saved one of the Chileans who were on board the train? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through, then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Ah, really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Sometime later.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
I just had to press X.
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
Bloodbath. Oh.
Holmes, what happened?
I feel deathly.
And you look it. Let me examine you. Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits. The pupil is dilated. The temperature appears to be normal. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats. A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute. But you're dying, Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Here, drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Hemlock and Datura. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Mr. Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
A good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one. We have brought in 2 young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the bath, but... what?
As I said,
And they were tied together.
you are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic. Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes. And these 2 young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line, the company that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
Beautiful place.
With a dreadful murder. The body of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe is still in the steam room. It has not been touched, per your usual instructions, Mr. Holmes. I shall be waiting for you here, but please hurry.
Are you able to identify the men who were with the victim in the steam room?
Yes. The manager of the bath, Sir Gregory Pitkin, a lad from the City Council, Garrow, and an archaeologist by the name of Blinkhorn. I think the plump one, Garrow, did it. He doesn't seem right in the head.
Well, we shall see. You found no murder weapon?
No, and that's why I called you. All 3 witnesses and the victim were locked in when the murder occurred, and they remained so until we got here. We even had to pick the lock to enter.
I see. Was there anyone else here, apart from those gentlemen in the steam room?
Yes, a Mr. Phillips. He was the one who called the police. He will be able to give you more details.
Good day to you, Mr. Phillips. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my colleague, Dr. Watson. Would you be so kind as to answer our questions?
Certainly, sir.
Please tell us the chain of events from the start of your day. Everything that you can remember. The slightest detail may be of importance.
Very well, sir. I came in at 6:30 this morning, and I opened the baths. I made sure that the room was clean, and I prepared the towels. The brazier was still burning.
There was a fire burning all night.
Yes, Sir Gregory ordered me to light the brazier yesterday. It takes some time until the room is fully heated. The gentleman had a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted everything to be perfect. They'd been in the steam room for 20 minutes when I suddenly heard shouting. I ran to the door, but it was closed. I couldn't open it. So I ran out to the street to call for the police. One constable came up, and then there were others, and they picked the lock. Then Inspector Lestrade came along, and he told us that nothing should be touched.
Did you receive any other visitors this morning?
No one. Until these gentlemen arrived. Sir Gregory was the first. And then, while we were discussing work details, Sir Rodney and Mr. Blinkhorn arrived, and Mr. Garrow followed.
What happened after that?
I waited until they'd all entered the steam room, then I returned to the hall. The changing room door was open, so I should hear if they needed anything.
You would have heard if someone had entered or left the steam room.
Certainly, sir. These doors make a lot of noise.
Frigidarium. The steam room. The changing room.
Oh,
Good Lord, Holmes.
Ah, death with a peculiarly Roman piquancy.
Like the one you almost had an hour ago.
Let us forget about that. I cannot leave until I have seen the body. These clothes belong to one of the suspects from the steam room. Clothes belonging to one of the suspects. Expensive clothes belonging to one of the men from the steam room. Champagne for a special occasion. Unopened. It was intended to be enjoyed after the steam session. An ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled.
There was only one hit from the weapon. It pierced the right eye straight through to the brain. Death would have been instantaneous.
The wound should not have bled so profusely. This pool is rather large.
Well, death is very recent, between 30 minutes to 1 hour ago.
Some dirt or earth. I'll take a sample. Look, Watson. He was wearing a ring. He very likely removed it before the steam session. I think we have found all that we can here, taking into consideration the abysmal lighting. Constable, we have finished with the body.
We don't have many leads here.
What concerns me is that we still have to find the murder weapon.
Mr. Holmes?
Please have the body removed without disturbing anything else in the room.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
I was wondering, Holmes, it's fairly reckless to carry out a murder inside a closed chamber. Why do you suppose they did it?
There are a great many possibilities. The murderer was in a hurry, or he is an artist, or a ghost, or he wanted to ensure that I'd be brought in on the case.
Probably the latter. You are ridiculous. Do you know that?
I,
I should check this blood sample at Baker Street. This key was covered in blood. I should ask Phillips about it. The brazier is still burning. The heat here is extreme. I will need something to pick up this melted metal. It is too hot. I cannot reach into it. One lens is cracked, probably due to the temperature of the brazier. These lenses are for myopia. The wearer is short-sighted. With the steam on, I'm unable to see even a few feet away.
oh Lord.
G. Newell and Sons, steam specialists, Seattle, WA. Blood traces wiped on the towel.
It's horrible. So Rodney is dead. Can't we speak about it somewhere else?
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
It's horrible. I can't talk at the moment.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any objections?
None, Lestrade.
What should we do next, Holmes?
How many people have keys to the steam room?
We have just the one key for now, which Sir Gregory gave to me.
So, this morning you opened the steam room, and then?
I put the key inside my desk, but when they called, I couldn't find it. It had disappeared. I don't know where it is.
Did you leave the baths at any time, or receive any visitors?
No, sir. I did not.
You are not telling the truth, Mr. Phillips. You left your work this morning, and you went to the post office, where you dispatched a telegram at around 7:30.
But how could you... No,
The telegram was for someone in Manchester.
Mr. Holmes, it's I'll tell you everything. I left the baths at 7:20. My sister wrote to me yesterday, and she needed a reply, or our mother is unwell. I was away for 20 minutes, and I closed the baths on my way out.
Did you receive a reply from your sister?
No, she wasn't meant to. I just told her to pawn my old school uniform so that she could pay for the medication.
Did you check to see if the key was still in your desk when you returned?
No, I didn't. Please, Mr. Holmes, don't tell the police about this. Sir Gregory would give me the sack. I need this job.
I see. There is a bottle of champagne on ice in the changing room. Do you have any idea who left it there?
There is? Are you quite certain? I didn't pay any attention. Do you believe that it's important?
Oh lordy, okay.
Good day.
An embroidered silk handkerchief. A fountain pen with solid gold trim. Sir Gregory Pitkin's visiting card. When Garrow found Sir Rodney dead, he wiped the blood upon himself. A phial with herbs. Do you know what it is, my dear fellow?
It's the St. John's wort flower, Holmes. It's commonly used as a drug against melancholia. However, an overdosage might lead to a rash or even hallucinations.
An ordinary pencil. This ring was most likely the one that Sir Rodney wore. He removed it before entering the steam room. An Egyptian symbol. It is a very old jewel. I see the join. This ring was repaired, and quite badly too, with silver.
Why on earth would they wear such a ring?
A very pertinent question. An old and rather dirty coin. A hand-drawn map. Rodney Bentcliffe's notebook. It may contain something of interest. The last pages were torn out. We must find a way of retrieving Sir Rodney's last lines. Watson, please prevent anyone from entering the room. But first, fetch me a pencil. To begin with, a few strokes of the pencil will be enough. I don't want to damage the traces. And then to gently smudge the leftover pencil marks with a handkerchief. I'm sure that Watson won't mind if I use his.
Mr. Holmes, the coroner... But what are you doing? Tampering with the evidence?
I prefer to make them talk. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Sir Rodney was about to make an outstanding discovery.
Wonderful.
I could retrieve only the final words. The rest of it is lost. Perhaps the autopsy will assist us in that matter.
I'm not sure that I can allow you to inspect the body now.
I am sure that you must, Constable.
Well...
According to the coroner, there were no cardiac problems nor lung congestion, but there were traces of fungus, possibly contracted from the Egyptian tombs. The coroner observed no stomach nor liver disease, if we're to accept that Sir Rodney was an occasional drinker and 63 years of age. An unusual wound, inflicted by a curved knife, which resulted in instant death, as the coroner's report says.
Some light bruising, caused by a rope. The bruising is in lines. They were caused by a rope around the waist. Sir Rodney was descending somewhere.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Those are so wonky, Lord. We're gonna echo soon. A ton of stuff. Alright, guys, we're going to end this here because we're going to be interrogating everyone next time. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment, and next time we'll try and find a leeway with this case of the steam bath murder. Alright, I'll see you guys then.